Karthik sir. Karthik sir.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello, madam.
Karthik sir.
Vandinga
வந்துட்டேன் சார் நான்.
வந்துட்டீங்களா உள்ள?
வந்துட்டேன் சார், நான் வந்துட்டேன். இல்ல சார், கொஞ்சம் இன்டர்நெட் இஷ்யூஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு சார் எனக்கு.
உங்களுக்கு கொடுத்துறேன்.
யா, ஃபைன் சார், ஃபைன் சார்.
Good afternoon to all.
Hello. Hello. Sir, voice break ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್, ಉங்க voice. Hello. Karthik sir. Hello.
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 இப்போ கேக்குதா மேம்? இப்போ கேக்குதா?
இப்போ கேக்குது சார். இப்போ கேக்குது.
So I welcome everyone to the Q4 activity of IIC prototype validation by Dr. V. Krishnapriya, Assistant Professor, Wales Institute School of Management, Chennai. Now I hand over the session to Dr. V. Krishnapriya. Okay, madam.
Thank you, sir. Sir, screen share பண்ற ஆப்ஷன் enable பண்ணுங்க சார் எனக்கு.
Shiva sir.
கார்த்திக் சார் கொஞ்சம் ஸ்கிரீன் எனேபிள் பண்ற ஆப்ஷன் இது பண்ணுங்க சார்.
1 minute, ma'am.
Yeah, fine. It's enabled. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So before I get into this prototype validation, converting prototype into startups, I first of all thank the management and the faculty members for giving this excellent opportunity. So before getting into the topic, I would like to introduce myself. This is Dr. V. Krishnapriya, and I'm Assistant Professor from School of Management Studies, Wales Institute of Science, Technology and Advanced Studies. So before getting into the presentation, I'll just show you a glimpse of my presentation, like what it is all about. The first thing, I'll be playing a small video and which shows the differences between the what is a small business and what is a startup, and exclusively those who want to take up an entrepreneurship, this will be a very useful one. And second one, I'll show you a slide which tells like how the government of India has come out with a concept like to encourage startups in India. And third one, I'll tell you the Navaratnas, that is 9 ways or 9 tools for validating a startup of your business in the market. So before I get into this presentation, I'll just show you the slide. 1 second. Are you able to see the screen? The YouTube screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to see the YouTube screen?
Yeah, ma'am.
Are you able to see the YouTube screen?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So there's a small video which tells you like what is the difference between startup and the small business.
Are startups and small businesses the same? People often think they are. In reality, though, they are quite different. While they have some similarities, they are not the same thing at all. Luckily, it is easy to tell them apart. First, let's look at a small business. Most likely, you know what one is. Small business is an ice cream shop in your district or your favorite local coffee shop, for instance. A small business is a locally owned business that has a small number of employees, a relatively low cost and income, and no plans to become a corporation. Many of them operate as sole traders and put off or not follow through with forming a company. These low-risk, low-reward businesses tend to remain the same for years. Very seldom do these type of businesses grow into something bigger. Startups are also small, but they dream big. Their motivation is money, popularity, and success, and they go for it. The fundamental difference between startup and small business is in their mindset. Startups are more about gaining ground and becoming a big hit, something that can have a very big success, but also can fail easily. Startups are about the ambition, level of dedication, dream, and threshold. It's when you desperately refuse to stay small. Startups are born to be big or die. Startups want to change the world. Small businesses are fine being small, stable, and profitable.
So what did you understand between the small business and the startup? Is both are same? Anyone? Is both are same? Am I audible?
It's audible, ma'am.
Yeah. I gave you the difference between startup and the small business. Is both are same or different? Hope the video is visible, right? Hello? Hello?
Oh, ma'am.
Yes.
I make like what is it audible?
Yes, ma'am. Audible, ma'am.
Yeah, like I want, can students speak right here? There is an option for them, right? Students can interact with me, right? There is an option, right? Yes. Karthik sir? Karthik sir?
Yes, ma'am. Anything?
The students can speak here, right, sir? They have an option, right?
Okay, ma'am. I will give the instruction. Dear students,
You know, ma'am?
kindly interact with the ma'am. If anyone want to speak, kindly unmute your mic.
Exactly.
Dear students, kindly interact.
Kindly interact and put us.
So like what is the difference between a small business and startup? We have seen that video which tells like a small business is something like it's a petty shop or an ice cream shop or a small sort of business where we have only limited set of customers get walking into our shop and doing a transaction. But whereas an entrepreneur or a startup is something which speaks about where we are venturing, that is we seek for the expansion of the business, and most often it happens to be a profit oriented apart from rural or social entrepreneur. So general entrepreneur, they like to look out for the profits, whereas rural entrepreneur and social entrepreneurship, rather than they look out for the profits, they try to see like what best can be contributed to the society from their end. So this is one of the cartoon. Is the cartoon is visible? The slide is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Visible, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So this is a cartoon which gives you an explanation like this is the last Republic Day where the government of India has given a place for a startup of business. They have started this particular website, that is www.startupindia.gov.in, where if any student who wanted to take up a new venture, or if they are in the less than 1 year span of a new venture, they can register in this particular website where they will be asking certain queries. And what about the business? You need to put your business plan. I'll be discussing the business plan. What are the things has to be there in the business plan? Others, kindly mute yourself. Others, like it's disturbing me. Can you mute yourself? Rachel, Teresa. Yeah, thank you. So this is a website where the government of India has started this venture, and those who want to start up a new business, or those who are in the started business and less than 1 year of age of their business, they can register, and they can fill certain columns so that they can even provide some kind of a training and financial support for the new ventures or new people. So this is an online platform, no need of going to any office or in physical and submitting it. You can go into the online platform, and they have tie-ups with the various entrepreneurship development institutes, which we call it as EDI. So they have a thing, and it's full free of registration. And in case if you have been what to say selected for this, they'll be giving training at a free of cost, and they will be supporting you financially by providing certain amount, that is a part of amount, where on the repayment basis the loan of interest will be very less when compared to the market rate. So there are 9 Navaratnas, or we call it as a 9 rules for startup of a business. So chart down your products, product concepts or ideas. So first and foremost thing, whatever the business you are planning to start up, chart down it, note it down in a piece of paper or note it down in a book. What are the ideas you have? What explore? Let us take an example. Now a pandemic, that is after COVID-19, we have seen many companies or startup of the business say before that we were least bothered about the wearing of mask or sanitizer or hand gloves or some kind of a antifungal socks and all those things, but now we are forced to do that. So what happened is, like many companies like Bata, they have come out with the antifungal socks, which tells like even the foot's shoe can be comfortably worn with this particular antifungal fall thing, gloves, which almost all the pharmacy has started manufacturing. And for that matter, we could not able to find these many number of hand sanitizers or a mask, or these many brands are available in the market year back exactly. That is before a year back, 25th February 2020, these many number of products were not available, but the companies are forced to do that because they are in the urge of requiring the meeting the customers expectations. So product concept, try to develop your product concept. Let initially it be unique. Don't put your leg in multiple products. Whatever the product you want to manufacture, first put a step in the product. Once you expand your business, then you can get into. And if you have a product concept bar ideas, if you have an idea, you can go to any nearest financial institution. Let it can be a incubation centers. Incubation centers are nothing but big academic institutions have a separate cell called incubation centers, where they try to train the employee, where they to train the new entrepreneurs, and if possible they'll try to invest some money for that. So these are the product ideas, it's your idea. So ultimately, see, these are the pictures which shows like you have put a graph on the board and you are started thinking of that. It's your idea, it's your brainchild. So try to discuss with n number of people. It doesn't mean like if you discuss your product will get failure. No, try to discuss with multiple people. Give solutions to your problem. Try to give as many solutions to your problem. You sit at one particular place, think of alternative. Generally, how we'll decide or take certain decision making. Let us assume you are planning to purchase a bike, a new bike. Your father has given you 1 lakh, or your mom has gifted you 1 lakh for your birthday. So suddenly you had a thought like, daily I'm going to college by MTC bus. Why don't I buy a bike? So what you try to do is like, whatever your mom gives you 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh, you never go directly to the shop and invest and buy. You'll start asking your friends which bike is good, which bike gives mileage, what are the features of the bike, which colors are available, which brands are available. In case if a new model or new product is ready for release, you'll wait till the product get released in the market. So all those things you'll give. So try to give solution to your problem as much as possible. Which market you are targeting. So whenever you are starting up of your business, try to understand which market you are targeting. Basically, Indian market is classified of 3 tiers. Indian market in Pathina, it's of classified of 3 tiers: upper class, middle class, and lower class. So always Indian market products will be very much successful when you hit the market for middle and lower class, because that is a segment which the Indian most of the population fall into. So try to target that particular segment, which can be a good one. And who are your customers? Who are your customers ultimately? So as I told you, a middle and lower one, who are your customers? Because at the end of the day, you need to identify your customers to whom your products are going to be supplied, whom the your idea gets more suitable, or whom your idea will be very much feasible. What special features will your product have? What is the special features? Because your product should be unique when compared to other products available in the market. So what is your special feature is all about? That is very, very, very important. Until unless this feature is not there in your product, nobody will be ready to buy your product. So have a good domain knowledge. So when you wanted to start up your business, it's not that much of easy. Have a good domain knowledge. Enna business start panna poringa? Let us take an example. I'll tell you a simple example. You are studying your EC, or you're studying your CSC, or you're studying your civil, whatever it is. You want to start up your business in your core. அதாவது வந்து நீங்கள் எந்த ஸ்ட்ரீம் எடுத்து படிச்சிருக்கீங்களோ அதுலேயே நீங்கள் பிஸ்னஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண நினைக்கிறீங்க. Try to identify your domain knowledge, because you have studied various number of subjects, nearly 14 to 15 subjects you have studied in depth. So what is your domain knowledge? So how you can get into? Now the people are speaking about VLSI or embedded systems or some civil software, the packages they are speaking about, and some apps they are speaking about. What do you exactly want to develop? So that is what one of the most important thing. Have a domain knowledge and then explore. I'll tell you a simple example how the Ola has come up. It's a brainchild of a normal candidate student like you. How the concept of a Pepperfry has come out. Pepperfry is one of the India's largest quality wood manufacturing company. So how it has come out? It has just happens to be a small brain tree students like you. Or how the urban tree has come out. All these things happen to be just, it's not happened overnight. They took a long gap, they invested, they failed, and some companies failed, and then they started manufacturing it. Identify a good bar appropriate market to enter. It's not that much easy to identify a good market. Try to identify a good market and a good time. Let us take an example. You are manufacturing a sweater industry. You are planning to set up a sweater industry, that is wool industry. It's a right time to get into the market is between October to February. So what happens if you just enter into the month of February or May? People are not ready to purchase, because India climate at that point of time happens to be a summer, so it is not feasible one. Identify a good bar appropriate market to enter. So which is your appropriate market? Na Chennai la iruken, Chennai la vandi endha part vandi enak appropriate, illa na Bangalore la iruken endha part vandi appropriate, where I can hit the target. So all those things happens to be much more feasible. Size of the market, try to understand the size of the market. Here the guy like you just sees the door and identify like which is the right market to enter. We have lots and lots of things to explore. Just imagine. Yes, any doubt? Am I audible? Any doubt? Do anyone have any doubt? Am I clear? Yes, no? I want response from your side. Am I clear? Karthik sir, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have any doubts, please note down on the piece of paper so that I'll be clarifying your doubts at the end of the session. So disruption or change in the market, at one point of time, what happens is like you'll be entering into the market, but some or other means you'll try to fail. அதாவது வந்து தெரிஞ்சு என்ட்ரு பண்ணுவீங்க, பட் என்ன ஆகும்னா ஒரு சில தடவை. Let us take an example. There are many ventures which are started in the last January, but still they were failure due to this particular pandemic situation which whole world has faced. Sometimes you'll have some kind of a disruptions. How to overcome that particular disruption, it is you to decide. You need to invest properly, and whatever the money you have taken as a loan or some kind of a financial support, full amount should not be invested. Please do understand, full amount you should not invest. At least you should have a margin of 5% in your bank. If you do that, then it will be very comfortable. Right time to enter the market. So you need to identify which is the right time to enter the market. So most of the time, most of a thing right time happens to be the based on the product what you are manufacturing. If you are manufacturing a juice, I'll tell you a simple example, a startup. Yesterday I was discussing this concept with my students during the class. what happened is like a engineering graduate who has an idea of starting up of a business. What he has done is like he thought innovatively, though he is engineering, please to understand, he thought his idea very innovatively. What he has done is like he actually came out from a one of the college from Bangalore. So what he has done is like he set up a fruit stall. That is his product is happens to be a eco fruit stall. That is his shop itself, eco fruit stall. What he has done is like he did not invest on the paper cups, he did not invest on the straws, or he did not invest on the plates or something. What he has done very beautifully is like whatever the fruit he is manufacturing, whatever the fruit juice he is manufacturing, in that itself he is serving, and he has its own set of classmates who manufactures the paper straw. So that is how he has kept it over there. And right time to enter the market, try to understand what is the right time to enter the market. uh, Based on that only you can decide that. So be out of box and test your idea. Never be inside the box. Please do understand, test, which is very important. You need to test your product whether it is comfortable and all the thing. அதனால தான் பாத்தீங்கன்னா MBA வந்து we have one particular concept called new product development. In that particular thing, one of the step is test marketing. Test marketing என்னன்னா whatever the products you manufacture, try to put it in the market, and you need to give it as a sample with other product, so that what happens is like you can identify whether your product moves well or not. And small business ideas, a small business idea is a boutique, a candy store, or some kind of a pet store. Or if you happen to see nowadays people western foods have become very famous in Indian market, a pizza corner or a pizza hut, some sort of thing with your own ideology you need to come out. Let us take an example. What is the difference between two major things which are available in Indian market? So let us take an example, Domino's and Pizza Hut. Both happens to be serving pizza. Why Domino's has gone up and Pizza has come down? Adhe pola pathina, where we have something different like various hotels which are set up in India. Why one is successful, why other is not successful? It is how we are taking the customers into our product, how we are going to satisfy the customers, which is very, very, very important. Set your target customer, be identify and be focused on who are your target customers. Unless you come out with your target customers, it is very difficult to serve the product. I am manufacturing a product. Let us take an example. I am manufacturing a watch. So my watch, my target customers are the student segment. I need to manufacture the watch according to the student segment, according to their colors, taste, model, and everything. So you need to serve to them. Start with your close network. You need to understand who is your network. Start with your close network, which is very, very, very important. யாரையோ போய் தேட வேண்டாம், உங்க சுத்து வட்டார இருக்கிறவங்களே தேடி பாருங்க. The product வந்து அவங்களுக்கு கொடுத்து பாருங்க. Try to help, try to give your product to them. Try to ask them like what are the suggestions can be upgraded. Then you can explore your product. Then you can explore to your nearby areas. Once it is been successful, you can venture the market into the, then it is successful, you can put your product into the market. Identify your prospective customers. Who are your prospective customers? Now ஒரு product manufacturing பண்றேன், எனக்குன்னு prospective customers இருக்கணும். Prospective customers are none other than the person who what to say, consume the product. So you need to identify your prospective customer, which is very, very, very important. And if you have an idea, people are there ready to invest. இப்போ இருக்கிற market situation வந்து there are n number of financial institutions who are ready to support, provided you come out with the right kind of idea. Be open to express your thoughts. Never hide your thoughts. நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்து அந்த strategy இருக்கும், will be keep on hiding your thoughts. Never hide your thoughts. Try to explore, try to discuss with your classmates, because what happens is like when you discuss with your same age group, or when you discuss with the people who are already in the market, you'll try to learn n number of things. Okay, நம்ம என்ன தப்பு பண்ணிருக்கோம், நம்ம என்ன புதுசா பண்ணணும், what are the ideas, whether my idea is matching to the market or not, how it can be done in an effective way. So all the things can be taken into consideration. In general, linking your ideas or thought is not same as buying your product. Your idea will maybe something different, but when you are put in action, that is something different. All the time it doesn't mean like both are happens to be same. Please do understand, students, both are totally a different one. You need to see like how your idea can be kept into practice, which is very, very, very important. Analyze the available data. Once you have started once you have an idea, you have started up a venture, you identify the market and you identify the customers. Yes, you have started giving the samples. Once your samples are given, analyze the available data. What is the data? நீங்க கடிச்ச உங்களுக்கு சேல் ஆன டேட்டா வச்சு எவ்வளவு ப்ராடக்ட் மேனுஃபேக்சரிங் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க, எவ்வளவு ப்ராடக்ட் சேல் ஆயிருக்கு, இல்ல வந்து how your product is moving in the market, which need to be understood in a very clear cut manner. Unless you do that, it is very difficult for you to get into the market. Please do understand. நாளைக்கு வந்து நீங்க எப்படி, I'll tell you an example. When you got your when you generally get your marks, what happens is like you'll try to analyze, you'll try to see like who is a class first and who is a class second, and in overall in whole university who is class first, and all the things you'll start analyzing it. Similarly, when you are selling the market every quarterly, that is 3 months once, you need to analyze the data. If possible, you need to say like if any mistakes or any errors you have committed, you need to rectify it immediately. That is the reason like every company comes out with a 3 months of result, where they can express the thing like what are the mistakes they have committed and how it can be done in an effective way. Sell before you build. 3 things. When sell it before you build it, because the first time when you are entering into the market, we are called as monopoly. Please do understand, you are called as monopoly market. What do you mean by monopoly? Anyone? What do you mean by monopoly? 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 Yes? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Audible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. What do you mean by monopoly, students? Ma'am, students have access to talk, right? Sir, students have access to talk, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, what is a monopoly, students? Have you ever heard this word? Is this a new word to you? Have you ever heard this word? Can anyone unmute and speak? Is that possibility? How to sell before you build it? So the first thing is like when you have an idea, try to put that idea into a organization thing, try to launch it. And once you launch it, what happens is like you need to build, and then once you build, you need to make a profit out of it. That is the reason like 2 sides of your slide. The first one, how to sell, there are 2 major things are there: idea, launch, build, and profit. So before that, you need to have an idea, proof how you are going to do it, that is one of the proof, and launch, profit, and build. So on other side, deliver whatever idea you have tried to deliver to your classmates or your friends. Discuss with them, tell them like how it can be done in an effective way, and எப்படி வந்து அவங்களோட suggestions எடுத்துட்டு then you can have a create, and then you need to sell it. So sell before you build. The first concept is which speaks about the building confidence. Try to build your confidence as much as possible, and at the same time don't be overconfident. Hope everyone knows the understanding between self confidence and overconfidence. Self confidence என்றது வந்து நம்ம பண்ண முடியும், நம்ம கூட பண்ண முடியும். But whereas overconfidence வந்து நம்ம மட்டும் தான் பண்ண முடியும். No one else can do that. If you have that particular thing, it is very difficult for you to sustain in the market. Don't be overconfident. Be a self-confident when you are starting up of your entrepreneurship. Winning a real customer who wants a solution to his problem. Try to identify a real customer who actually wants to give solution to your problem, because all the time you cannot expect like your product will become successful in the market. Sometimes it may get failed. You need to have some kind of a support from your customer. So have a set of real time customers who tells your opinion, their ways and means of using the product in an effective way. Test the product, which is very 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 important. Until unless you test the product, don't sell it to the market. So test is something like, as I told you,
Excuse ma'am.
give samples with the existing. Yes sir.
Ma'am. Excuse ma'am. Just
Yes sir.
on
Yes.
your video, ma'am, for photo. Just switch on your video for photo. Photo session.
Yes sir. Yes sir. Fine sir.
Students, please switch on your video for a minute for photo. Students and staff. Students, please on your video. Please on your video, students and staff, for photo.
Sir, is this clear?
Yes, ma'am. Clear, ma'am.
Yeah. So can I start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. You can continue, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So what happens is like testing a product, which is very important. The organizations, when they start up a venture, it is not that much of easy. They need to test the product first. And when you are testing a product, have a deadline. Other than when you are launching a product, it is not a thing like it may take years or months, but you need to have some kind of a deadline for the product. The customers leads the development often. So when you purchase a product, let us take an example. You are purchasing your Samsung mobile of your brand. So at that point of time, you cannot have the same model continuously for 10 years or 12 years. The customers are requesting a change in the product. Or other case, take an example, when your kids, you had some kind of a television at your home. Now if your father or mother purchases the same television, you tell like this is not a current trend or this is not the current model. You need to keep on changing it. Similarly, what happens is like the organization need to upgrade the product continuously, which is very 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 important. Coming to the investment earned, whereas investment is one of the major part, it's not given. You need to try to earn your investment, which is very 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 important. So try to get from various sources. It can be from your savings, it can be from the support from your family members, or it can be support from the bank, or it can be support from the friend circle, whomsoever it is. Try to get your investment initially. So until unless you start with a small investment, it will not grow. அதே போல பாத்தீங்கன்னா, when you are investing some amount, it's not that much of easy you will put 100%. As I told you, try to have 5 to 10% as a margin in your bank, because if something goes wrong, that amount can be useful for you. And even like what happens is like, it is something like, here I want to tell you, in India we have n number of incubation centers. As I told you, in Chennai we have at IFMR, that is Institute of Financial and Marketing Research. And we have at one at IIT Chennai, that is Indian Institute of Technology Chennai. And 2 to 3 private universities are offering these incubation centers, and one more from the government end, and 2 are from the central government. So people are there to ready to support you, provided your business plan happens to be an effective one. So try to get the investment, providing a right kind of a business plan. And almost all the, as I told you, one more thing, a startup, government of India, and year on year they'll come out with the competition. So you can put your proposal in that competition, and there is a chance of winning that competition too. So here, when you happen to be taking a small graph, I want to explain this with your small graph, where on the x-axis we are speaking about the risk, and in the y-axis you are speaking about the return. So when you have a limited cash which starts from zero, when you have a limited cash, the risk is very small and return is also very small, because when you invest a small amount, there is no chance of a higher risk, and you start getting inflow. That is when your product goes well in the market and you start moving in the progressive way. That is a consistency growth, we call it as. So once you get a consistency growth, what happens is like you will get a fixed income. அதாவது வந்து இந்த சீசன்ல வந்து இவ்வளவு இன்கம் எனக்கு வரும்னு சொல்லிட்டு you'll have a decision or confirmation in your mind. So that what happens is like when your graph goes in the 90 degrees angle, what happens is like your income will be standard, or your income will be generated. At the same time, there is a huge chance of risk as well as return. And coming to the final one, equities, once you start investing, that are when once you start doing the things, you will start looking out for a shareholders. That is people who try to invest in your company, and they try to do some kind of a business in a joint way. And here I want to tell you, like there are many institutes and many industries planning to have a joint ventures with the new startups. அதாவது வந்து புதுசா ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணவங்களோட நிறைய பிசினஸ் கம்பெனி வந்து they are joining hands with them and ensuring like they wanted to give some kind of a support to the startup business in the India. Have passion and focus. So passion is one of the beautiful word in English. So until unless you have a, there is a, you say like if you have a passion in your belly, you cannot succeed in your career. So try to have a passion, which is very, very, very important. Whatever the field it is, if you don't want to start up an entrepreneurship, don't doesn't mind. You, whatever the job you are taking up, whatever the new thing you are doing, try to have a passion. So let us take an example. Your faculty is asking you to prepare a presentation. Try to do it with a passion. The outcome will be very excellent. When your faculty ask you to do this job, they tell like this is the job which has been allotted to you, try to do it. If you take it in your passion way, it can be done in an effective way. Don't do it lethargic. Ayo idu namba seinuma idu pannama. No. Similarly, for an entrepreneur, yes, we need to have a passion, which is very, very, very important, and focus.
Students, you can switch off your video. Please switch off your video.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Now only
Sorry,
audible, ma'am.
ma'am, Swarna Lakshmi, ma'am, try
Yes,
to
ma'am.
enable the screen sharing.
Just wait, ma'am.
Yes, try to have a passion and focus, which is very important. And once you take up an entrepreneurship, you cannot have a diversion. You need to be totally focused on the business, whatever you're doing into. Put your heart, brain, and all parts of your body in that particular venture, then only it will become successful. I'll tell you a simple example. Ma'am, there is a disturbance like, can you mute everyone, ma'am?
Ma'am?
There is a disturbance, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, all students are in mute, ma'am. Ma'am, now okay, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So what happens is like when you focus, I'll tell you a simple example. A small engineering graduate from Chennai. He has graduated from one of the top engineering college in Chennai. What he has done is like he had a wish of giving some solution to the water problem in Chennai city. He has taken a social entrepreneurship. That is, he doesn't initially is not worried about the problem. Initially he doesn't worry about the financial income. What he has done is like he has taken a loan based on his UG degree, and he has started setting up a small missions in the area where he is located, because the area where he is located happens to be full of water scarcity, and in the summer it happens to be very peak. So this guy has given some kind of manufactured a small motor, and he has fixed that motor to the bore well. What he has done is like he has given some kind of a what to say operating button, so that that water can be secured in the under the bore water for a limited period of time, and it can be done. So this is one of the best way of doing it. And I'll one more example I want to tell it to you. A similar one of the MBA graduate, what he has done is like he wanted to give some kind of a solution to the rural people, that is rural people in Odisha. He is actually from Odisha, an MBA graduate. He wanted to give some solution to the rural people. So there what happened is like his father happens to be a central government employee, and suddenly like he has a shift from Chennai, from one of the town in the Tamil Nadu to Odisha. There, what happened is like the place where he has transferred is full of water scarcity, lighting problem, and all those problems. So at that point of time, what happened is like this guy at that point of time he was studying 12th standard. After completing the 12th standard, he went to a engineering course nearby college, and then later graduated. Say what to say MBA course, and came back to the village after nearly 6 years. The town was still same as it is, and there was no a single drop of improvement in that town. So immediately what he has done is like, let's start giving some kind of solution to the town villages by providing a light. So what happened is like initially he took a support of local people, other than that local UG graduates or engineering graduates, and there he trained them like how to install the light setup and how it can be done and all those things. And then later what he has done is like he provided some kind of a training to those graduates, and these graduates helped him for installing all kind of light setup over there. So at that point of time, the people were happy to notice that the guy has given some kind of a solution for the light in their area. So he has been very much focused in his area, like he wanted to develop that particular village, and rather he has been what to say gave a business plan proposal to the district collector where that village comes under, and district collector in person has sanctioned some loan for the digging of wells and giving some kind of a solution to the people, like giving some kind of a what is it building up of a toilets and providing some kind of a sanitization support and building a pakka houses. He has sanctioned a installment basis loans, and people have put, apart from that, the people have whatever the money they have saved, they have put, and they have built a beautiful city. And in the year, to tell you, like in the year 1994, this has been awarded as a best village in India from Government of India. So there are people who are being focused, rather than getting a money as a part of income, they wanted to do some sort of contribution to the society. So have a passion, which is very, very, very important. Until unless you have a passion and belly in the fire, it is very difficult to get succeed. And be focused on whatever you have. And last one happens to be the ninth rule, or a ninth mantra, or a ninth way: personal development. You need to have a personal development, which is very, very, very important. Until unless you are not focusing on it, it is very difficult for you to get succeed in your life. Leave it off your what others say, or leave it off like how others think about you, or leave it off like how you are going to be succeed. Initially have your personality. Until unless you build your personality, doesn't mean like it's your physique or your appearance or your way of walk or your way of dressing. It's how you are going to carry yourself before others. It doesn't matter like you're fat, thin, or dark, right? It doesn't matter how you are going to carry yourself before others. The attitude is one of the most important thing. I'll tell you, attitude is one of the beautiful English word which goes for 100%. If you start marking A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, and Z is equal to 26, it is one of the beautiful English word which tells you like how the attitude makes a human difference. 100% positive or 100% negative attitude. Create strong social media presence. Whatever the product you manufacture, doesn't mind. Create a strong social media presence. Make it something available in the market. Create a strong one. Write blogs. Create your own ID, write blogs so that it gets circulated to n number of people, and people will start knowing about your organization, what is that organization is all about, what is actually doing, and how is actually doing. So there are n number of institutions have done like this. Let us take an example. How many of us know before COVID the Paytm? It has become only with a limited set of people, only 30 to 40%. And once the government of India and prime minister announced like it should be a social distancing or blah 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 concept, start using the digitalization. Now it has become a digitalized India. And in the recent parliament session, he has said like nearly 80% of India has been digitalized. Even a petty shop, if you go to a shop who just sells tea and coffee in the evening, that vendor even has a Paytm and tells like Anna ni Google Pay பண்ணிடு இல்ல Anna ni Paytm பண்ணிடு. So this is what the trend is all about. Go to a vegetable vendor, he has the Paytm. So all the things happens to be a social media now. Try to make your product social media presence, which is very, very, very important. Write blogs. So blogs is one of the best way of attracting the customers. Based on your blogs, they'll give review. So review is one of the best way to attract the product, attract the customers for your manufactured product. Wide usage of LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is one of the professional platform where you can put n number of links and you will get lots and lots of people getting connected in, and one of the best way. You can even look like how the similar kind of industries are doing in the foreign countries. So this is one of the best platform. Know the basics of technology. Without technology you cannot conquer the world, or you cannot rule the world, which is very, very, very important. Try to know about the technology basics. If you take an example, Excel, try to know the basics of Excel. If you know about the Word document, try to know the basics. If you are doing some kind of a software application in your product, try to know the basics at least. Anyhow, you are going to hire the employees. That doesn't matter. Try to know the basics. If you are not knowing the technology, take it for granted from me. Down the line, 2 years or 3 years, your company will not be there in the market. You need to shut down and you need to think of something else. There are n instances where they are not able to touch the technology. Let us take an example of India is one of the branded shirts. In the year 1990s, there was one particular brand called Kumar shirts, so which was very famous in the Indian market. Now it is not there because they were not able to meet the needs of customers, and they are not able to cope up with the technology. Go to any that particular matter, go to one of the famous thing, LML Vespa, the vehicle which has happened to be one of the India's favorite moped, which was called as Mera Papa Ka Moped, favorite moped. So that particular moped is not available in Indian market. They have gone out for some point of time for 6 years out of Indian market, did some kind of a marketing survey and did some kind of understanding and understood like they are supposed to upgrade the technology and came back to the Indian market with a new model. So there are n number of examples where you can quote for. So technology is one of the most important thing. It means like, and you need to invest on technology. These are the few websites you can note down. These two websites, which is beautiful websites, www.failery.com blog top Indian startup. This is one of the website where you can find top 50 Indian startup companies in 2020, 20 and 2019. And these are the loomsolar.com. It is one of the startup company where you can find top 10 companies in each and every sector. இது ரெண்டு வெப்சைட்ஸ்மே வந்து ரொம்ப 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 important, where you can get how the people have started the business and how do you think. Apart from that, sir, there is a disturbance. Sir, there is a disturbance. Like, can you please mute your?
Selvam, Selvam, kindly unmute your mic.
Selvam, can you please mute your mic? Thank you, Selvam. So these are the two major websites which is available. I just want to, if you anyone wants to take a snapshot of it, you can take it and you can find all sort of related informations for a startup of a business. And one more website which I want to project you is the first website, which happens to be a Government of India official website, www.startupindia.gov.com, where you can find like what are the provisions and what are the flexi plans. That is, the plans are not fixed or rigid. They have certain flexi plans in this particular website. You can go through it and you can just venture like how it can be used for your startup of India. And this is one of the cartoon which they have played in the Republic Day celebrations in Delhi. So this is the end of my presentation. If you have any queries, I am ready to answer your queries. Is any doubts?
No queries, ma'am.
Sorry, ma'am.
No questions. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for the beautiful lecture. I thank everybody here for attending this beautiful event. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now I close the session.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Huh? Ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have finished now, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I have done with my presentation, sir. Any queries or shall I leave?
No queries, madam.
Thank you.